Melissa, I will assign you to the host now, and if you would make me co-host, I'd
You
appreciate it.
bet. Thank you.
Okay, does anybody know why we're not getting any?
All right, Chris, why don't you talk to our guests?
Forgive me, everyone. I was on mute. That is 100% my fault. Let's try this again. Welcome to the North Carolina Council on Developmental Disabilities Self-Advocate Discussion Series. I am Chris Hendricks, Promise, Policy Education Coordinator for the Council. On behalf of the Council, thank you all for being here. The discussion series is a place for North Carolina's self-advocates to gather and engage with each other, to talk about things that affect our lives as people experiencing life with IDD and other disabilities. We want this time together used to get to know each other and to get to know the council, where I and other individuals with IDD are leaders, colleagues, and valued for our input because we are who we are. People with disabilities should always be valued like this, and this discussion series demonstrates why and how. Self-advocates and advocates in our community are used to climbing mountains, and we often use this time together to talk about challenges we face and how difficult it can be to climb those mountains. This month, we're going to take a step back and recognize that we've accomplished as individuals and together as a community. We'll use this time for celebration. Today is an opportunity to share about the experiences and the power of gratitude. However big or small, gratitude can have a powerful impact on our lives. Today, we'll talk about how to take advantage of that power. We'll learn a little about positive psychology, how happiness is scientifically better for you, and what science has to say about gratitude. We'll offer some cool tips, tricks, and resources so that if you're not already doing it, you can take action immediately following the meeting using the power of gratitude from the point of view of a self-advocate. To begin, as always, however, we'll start things off with the jokes of the day. As always, you might notice a theme. First off, what did the turkey say when he met the president? Any guesses? The answer is, pardon me.
Mm-hmm.
I thought you'd get that one, Philip. Question number 2, what's a turkey's favorite way to travel?
Okay. Come on now.
Any guesses? The answer is the gravy train. But Oh, okay. Now we've smiled our way into the session. So, to get warmed up for sharing what you're grateful for, here's a couple inspirations. Experience is not what happens to you, it's what you do with what happens to you. That's Aldous Huxley, English writer and philosopher. Each day comes bearing its gifts. Untie the ribbon. Ruth Ann Parsons Schabacker. My goodness, I apologize if I butchered that last name. Lieutenant Colonel, U.S. Air Force. We'll spend some time today getting to know each other better as we share our own stories of gratitude and experiences of self-advocacy that we are thankful for. But first, we at the Council feel it would be disingenuous and unfair to leap into gratitude before getting a sense of where everyone is at today. A lot has happened in this country and the state in just a few short weeks. We ended the year with a hurricane that devastated many North Carolinians, particularly our friends in the North Carolina mountains. And if that wasn't enough, the first week of November saw the end of elections that have left many in the disability community feeling uncertain and unsure. These things are a lot to process for anyone, but more so for anyone with a developmental disability. It might be necessary for some of us to make room for what we're grateful for by first talking about the effects of Hurricane Helene, and the recent national and state elections. So before we begin, I need to remind everyone that every voice matters, and each of you is free to share your experience. So be open, be honest, but be respectful. We invite you now to use the raise hand icon or come on camera and raise your hand on camera, or if you don't feel comfortable sharing in that way, write in the chat space to share your experiences. Would anyone like to take a moment and just share how they're feeling? I'll start things off and just say that after all of this election mess, regardless of what side of the aisle you feel most comfortable on, I think we've all just been bombarded with one too many messages. So I'm going politics free for a while. I don't know about y'all. And that's my share. All right. Well, silence is a powerful thing too. And we really appreciate everyone being here. Just being here shows that you're brave and open and ready for gratitude in your lives, particularly at this time of year. So we appreciate you, each and all of you. So now on to what we're thankful for and our thoughts around gratitude. You'll notice that there's a couple questions to choose from. I'll go over them briefly. Number one, what are you most thankful for? Number two, for whom are you grateful? Is there a person in your life or some people in your life that you'd really like to share gratitude for? Number three, what are you most excited about in your life at this moment? Question number four, what are you most looking forward to at Thanksgiving? Now, there's a small, tight-knit group of us today. So I need us all to be extra brave. And y'all need to give my voice a break. I cannot be the only one talking today. I'm gonna push you a little bit. I know we all have something to smile about out there.
So this is Kevin James with Covenant Case Management Services. And
Hi, Kevin.
mostly I am thankful that I've had wonderful caregivers and family support to support me through cardiac issues and things that I'm still here.
That is beautiful, Kevin. That's something to be thankful for sure. We're really glad you're still here as well. Thank you again, Kevin. Dave Owen, I just read your chat. I just came for the jokes. That is too something to be grateful for. Patsy was, oh, go ahead.
Hey, this is Brittany Ellis. What I'm most thankful for is that I'm an IDD peer support specialist for 2 months now at Johnson County Industries. And a year ago, I was only doing it on Mondays, but now I'm doing it full time. And that's a year ago, that was my dream. And just a reminder, you never know what might happen in a year. So I'm really kind of thankful for that.
That's huge, Brittany. Congratulations. Fantastic. I also want to take a moment to thank Patsy. She shared her thoughts on the election in the chat. I'm happy the elections are over. It's overwhelming. All of the ads, news, and mailers, absolutely. And you also shared why you're thankful in the chat. Thankful I get to have Thanksgiving with my father for the first time in many years. That is awesome. Patsy, I hope it's okay that I'm reading your chats. Please jump on and let me know if that's not acceptable.
No, it's fine. I'm just my voice is a little scratchy today, so yeah, I haven't had the opportunity to have Thanksgiving with him in probably about 10 years because of living so far apart, and he moved closer to me this year, so we get to have Thanksgiving together.
I'll be thinking of y'all. Sean Flagg has shared in the chat. This Thanksgiving, I'm looking forward to my family coming together despite all that has happened. Amen to that, my friend. I'm hoping that all my family members can play nice given the intense year that we've had. But I have a good feeling that the energy of togetherness is going to stick with us. The world could sure use it right now. Johnny Thomas shares, I am most grateful for being able to help others in my community while working with great people. I love that, Johnny. Do you want to share either in the chat or out loud, if you're able, some of the help you're able to provide while working with great people? I'm sure we would love to hear.
Can you hear me?
I can.
Oh, okay. I'm on the state, North Carolina State CFAC. I'm on the local Wake County CFAC, and I'm on the Wake Continuum of Care, which gives me an opportunity to work with people with mental illness, people coming out of the justice system, especially people that are homeless and trying to get reacclimated and back in their community and connect with families. I'm also this year was picked to be on the board of Oak City Cares, so I have a lot of God's given me a lot of opportunities, and I'm grateful for being able to use that for helping others because I've spent many years in the same situation, so I can give back. I'm grateful for having that opportunity.
Ronnie, thank you for jumping on camera and sharing that. We really appreciate that. We're grateful for you and all that you do, and we're really grateful you're here. Laura, I see you have your hand raised.
Laura,
Laura,
if you're talking,
Laura.
we can't hear you. You weren't on mute. You are now.
Now you are. Let me see if I can unmute. Oh, now it looks like you're unmuted. So that's progress. And while we're waiting on Laura, Yvonne shared in the chat, I'm glad the hurricane missed Charlotte. Me too. I've got some dear friends over that way.
Try again, Laura. Still, I'm having a lot of trouble. I'm having trouble hearing several people. So I will make the suggestion to make sure that wherever your microphone is, if it's on your laptop, if it's on your camera, if it's on your telephone and earphone plugs, that you try to talk directly in the direction of your microphone. Oftentimes it's hidden in a place on your laptop screen, in an unusual place, either around that screen frame, and sometimes it's on the bottom of your laptop. So thank you, and forgive us if we interrupt you to ask you to speak just a little more clearly.
It's a really great suggestion, Melissa. And while Laura is working on things in technology land, I see that Mohammed Naeem also you have your hand up. Are you able to share?
Yes, I'm actually on the phone right now. I'm talking to you from my cell phone. Can you hear me, guys?
We can.
Okay. Actually from New York. I just moved here to Raleigh last year. And I used to work for the New York State in Albany for the Self Advocacy Association. And I'm new to the area, so I'm looking for groups to start so I'm glad to meet you guys. And what's your names? So I go on. Can you reintroduce you?
Well, there are many of us here, but our particular group, this is the North Carolina Council on Developmental Disabilities.
Yes.
Yep, and the crew you're with is our monthly self-advocate discussion series.
Yep. And I'm a former self-advocate. I used to work for the New York State in Albany, and I still do on the side. But since I moved up here, I'm not I'm a part member, but I don't go to the Albany conferences anymore. So I'm looking for groups here too. So to start, So if you could guide me, I live in Raleigh area.
Well, we're on behalf of North Carolina and the council, we're glad you're here, and we're happy to steal you away. There's plenty of groups around that certainly could use you, and
yes,
always
and I prefer on Zoom calls, because it's hard for me to travel,
Absolutely.
Yes.
Hey,
Absolutely.
can you hear me now?
We sure can, Laura. Go right
Okay.
ahead.
So I get to celebrate my birthday for Thanksgiving.
Nice.
Ooh.
And
Laura, does that mean that you get both birthday celebration and turkey and like all of the things,
yeah,
or whatever
yeah, I get cake and turkey and pumpkin pie and all that stuff.
That's fantastic. This is making me hungry just thinking about it. I actually forgot to eat breakfast this morning, so.
But yeah, I mean, when I was little and I had the encephalitis, the doctor said that I wasn't gonna live through the night. And so every time you get to celebrate a birthday when you almost died long time ago, of course those doctors are long dead now, but
Right.
you become grateful. And I'm thankful for you all and for the self-advocate group and so and Yvonne had a birthday the other day too, so
That's right. That's right. Happy birthday, Yvonne.
Thank you, guys. Yeah, thank you, Laura, for mentioning it, and thank you, everybody. Yeah, it went okay. I just rested and had some meals on different days before the birthday and everything. So, and of course, my good buddy Philip made it good too. So, yeah. So I'm thankful for that. An apartment, of course.
Amen. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Thank you both for sharing for sharing that.
Welcome, and also the hurricane. I was so glad it didn't hit us, even though it was sad that it hit Western North Carolina. But I've been through too many hurricanes. Andrew was the worst hurricane in '92, and then I had other hurricanes, so I'm not into hurricanes, you know.
It was a rough one.
Yeah, it was very scary, but at the last minute it turned west, and of course I was sorry for the Western, but I was also thankful that it didn't hit us, you know, in Charlotte. Yeah.
We're rebuilding one day at a time, for
Yeah,
sure.
blessings to all them because they still need help, and I heard that they're not getting as much as they need and stuff. So hopefully, I hope they keep helping them and don't stop, you know.
I heard, I'll share that I heard that they did just recently get sort of or access to clean water, which
Yeah,
is
I heard about that from BPR through NPR. They're both the same, but they have different names. The Blue Ridge Public Radio and NPR, which I listen to 24/7, was talking about that. Yeah, they finally get clean water. That's great.
yeah.
Mhm.
Let me just quickly share
Sure.
that if, and this is for everyone, we will assume that if you are brave enough to be on camera, that you are brave enough to be called on. So just keep that in mind.
Um, Also, my goal is to find a job here because I've been working since COVID, and I used to work for the state of New York, you know, and my goal is to find a job here, like a sitting job, you know. And it's people tell me North Carolina is slow. It's not like New York.
Well, now is the time of year to make those wishes known, for
Yeah.
sure.
Yes. And what you call for me, you know, so switching jobs, you know, moving to a different area is hard for me to, you know, because
What do you want to do?
I'm actually looking for a sitting job. I used to be admin, you know. I used to do some odd like easy job. I used to work for independent living in New York before.
Oh,
They,
and where do you live now?
I live in Raleigh.
Oh,
Yeah. So for me, every year, if I move or uh, things happen, I have to find jobs, you know. And I used to do odd jobs too, you know, work in a restaurant.
You've been all over the place,
Yes,
doing all kinds of things.
yes, yeah. I could survive, but you know, uh, uh, when uh, when it comes to jobs, I can't be focused, you know. I have to move around and stuff, you know. Like because this time I had to move up here, and it's difficult for me to find a job, you know. And there's people say North Carolina is slow. It's not like New York, you know, like fast mo, you know,
Mhm.
fast services, you know. So yeah, it's been like I've been here already 1 year already, so you know, I've been looking for work since 1 year already since I moved here, and I'm still looking.
We hear you. We know that can be a challenging endeavor, and also just know that you're not alone in our
Yes.
in our community.
Yep.
Um, I'll share quickly. I don't know if I have yet, but from wearing my self-advocate hat, taking my council hat off, I am very, very grateful um for my daughter this year. I have for those who don't know, I have a 6-year-old daughter at home, and she's 6 years old, going on 38. And but that's gonna serve her really, really well as an adult. She's just as stubborn as me and my partner Heather, and She goes for what she wants, and she's so smart, and I'm just so proud of her. And I always wanted to be a dad, so extra grateful for that this year.
Yep. I just want to say I had an experience voting this year. It was awesome. You know why? Because I had my experience was I was sitting in my own like my cousin's car, and they came to me. I didn't have to go to them to vote. You know, so the voting poll was awesome for me. I did it from the car, so you know.
I too voted from the car.
Yeah.
Yeah. Accessible voting was really kind to me this year. Did anyone else have a positive accessible voting experience?
Uh, Besides me, I had I had fun actually. I hit that. So my cousin hit that button, and they came to me, and I was like, and the lady goes, "I don't have to go inside. Your cousin has to go inside." So he parked the car, and I was just sitting in the car waiting for the lady to come.
That's wonderful.
Yeah, because that was my first experience sitting in the car like that. But usually when I go to like voting sites, I have to walk in, and you know, and because when they see a wheelchair, they think you need more access, you know. And I said, no, I could just stand and
Yeah,
yeah,
accessible voting is a big deal,
yep.
no doubt. So we've got a couple more minutes for plenty of sharing. Does anyone else want to jump in and share what they're grateful for this holiday?
I'll just go. I'm glad I have my dad with me right now, and I have that support. If I was alone, I'd be like crazy, like running around.
That's certainly something to be grateful for.
Yep.
Philip, I know you got some gratitude to share with us. Why don't you tell us what you're grateful for this year?
I'm laughing out loud at you, Chris. This is Melissa, one of Chris's colleagues. The moment you said Philip's name, he stood up and left his office. I'm very, very sorry. But what I will say is that I have seen a couple people come on and off camera, and we hope that if you're on camera that you're willing to let us call on you and ask you for a little more input. I do want to put one person on the spot since they've been in our space for so many, many years. We have a renowned former direct support professional and now public policy professional, David Owen, in our space. Chris, who was once the direct support for our current Council on Developmental Disability chairperson. So if we could get Dave to just say a few words, it would really make my Thanksgiving personally.
I second that, Melissa. Go right ahead.
Thing on? Thing work?
Sure can.
Hello, can you hear me?
Sure can.
Yes, we can.
I'm not getting paid for this.
Nope, you're not. That's true. We know you do it completely out of love.
Well, hello, council people. I always try to hop on when I get a council email. Maybe I'll get to come see how Chris's mustache is doing. Looking great.
Dave, tell us what you're most thankful for related to the holidays and Thanksgiving.
I guess I'm thankful for all the jobs I have right now. I'm totally in love with my job. I'm working for Via Health, helping individuals with complex disabilities get out of institutions and into the community of their choice using a federal demonstration project called Money Follows the Person. So I'm meeting all kinds of wonderful individuals that way. All my colleagues are fantastic. My other job, working for all the concerts, that's still going great. I'm also in grad school, so I'm grateful that I can do grad school from home because I don't like going to campuses. So I'm basically here at work and in my college dorm at the same time, talking to you guys. That's multitasking.
Yes.
That's wonderful. All right, let me ask you one more question of these four. And what are you most looking forward to at Thanksgiving?
I'm gonna probably just sit on the couch over here with my dog and watch a lot of Game of Thrones.
Great,
Truthfully, yeah.
relaxation.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good well-being.
That
Dave Owen, I
sounds-
can't thank you enough for allowing us to put you on the spot like that and to
Totally did.
have you show up.
Yes, thank you,
Leave us
David.
All
Hi,
right,
guys. Good to
Chris.
see you.
I turn it back to you, Chris.
Well, we've got some pretty cool shares in the chat. Larry Sampson says Lacey is 7 years seizure free, and she is very thankful for this. And Tasha is thankful for her new roommate. I can only imagine 7 years seizure free. I would certainly be grateful for that as well.
Mhm. Chris,
Mm-hmm.
this is Mohammed. I like Thanksgiving because I could watch my football games. Yes.
That is a great thing to be grateful for. I honestly, my colleague or our colleague, excuse me, Philip Woodward stepping away is a tiny bit heartbreaking because if he heard you say that, he would jump on and jump on your team, so to speak. Oh, Philip is back. The man in purple has returned. Philip, what do you have to say about this upcoming holiday and what you're grateful for?
This is Philip Woodward. I'm a systems change manager here at the North Carolina Council on Developmental Disabilities. I apologize. I have not paid attention since the jokes of the day because I got a phone call about transportation for people with disabilities, and then I had to help a visitor who came to the office. So, Chris, that's why I wasn't able to respond earlier. I heard somebody say they like Thanksgiving because they can watch football games.
Yeah.
Honestly, that's one of my favorite things about Thanksgiving too.
Yep.
But
And
my Minnesota Vikings aren't playing in Thanksgiving Day this year, so none of the other teams are as good as the Vikings are. But I'm always thankful for time with my family and the opportunity to eat some delicious food and to just relax at home and enjoy the pretty leaves. And I say that because I love fall foliage, and you can see in my background is a photo that I've taken of orange leaves. I love fall foliage photos, so I love this time of year. And I would be very grateful if the Minnesota Vikings win one Super Bowl in my lifetime. Thank you.
Philip, this is Mohammed. I'm the one who likes football, but my team is the Denver Broncos. So
Who knew on the day of gratitude we would found a new rivalry in our
This-
community?
This is Philip here. I'm giving you a mile-high salute, Mohammed, because I like the Broncos with Terrell Davis and John Elway.
yes, my favorite
Go
quarterback,
ahead.
John Elway. I never met him, but I heard about him. And also, I deal with transportation too. When I was with the, I'm still with the. We have a. we have in New York, we have a group in Buffalo, has a group called the Transportation Committee. I'm still on that committee, and we always talk about transportation when you said you deal with transportation. But my goal is to fix the transportation in the states of all 50 states, because I'm a self-advocate and I was a former self-advocate. I'm still with the group in New York, but I just do side jobs for them, but I don't get paid like you said.
That's a powerful goal.
Yeah.
Mohammed, thank you for sharing.
Yep. And because transportation is my first goal, to fix everything. Because yeah, I struggle with transportation. Every self-advocate I talk to, and they say transportation is the issues.
Well, Mohammed, we've got a share for you in the chat. Larry says to the gentleman that moved to Raleigh, resources for you to look into: the Community Workforce Solutions Gateway Clubhouse. Contact. There's the phone number there, and ask for Catherine. I'll be sure to put that in. Following all of these meetings, we put together a resources email.
Okay.
For everyone in attendance, and I'll be sure to include that along with the number and the contact name.
You could also take my number down and my email down if Melissa has my information. So.
I do. Thank you, Mohammed. I most certainly do. And I will be making sure we send you a special email. And I have put my hand up because I do also want to do a commercial, and this is for everybody. The Council on Developmental Disabilities has a program called the Gene Wolfe Rossi for Participation Fund. And it's a participation fund where if you find a conference, an event, an advisory that you want to participate on, the council will help to support the expenses that it takes for you to do travel. And you can find that information on our website at www.nccdd.org. But as Chris just said, we will include that information specifically in the resources email that Chris will send after this particular session. So you can expect to get that before Thanksgiving. So Chris, thank you for that opportunity and for allowing me to give a plug for that particular program. We really want to do what we can to help folks go places, and transportation transportation costs are I want to say prohibitive. What's the word I want to use? They get in the way, they challenge us and keep us from doing things that we want to do. All right, Chris, go ahead.
Well, we've still got, I knew that we were going to have extra time today. And I'm certainly going to take some time to go over resources, but I do want to, as long as we have time, consistently go back to you all, and if you haven't shared and if you'd like to share. And this isn't me calling anyone out specifically, but I'm just noticing there's a few people that are here with us that haven't shared in the chat or on camera, and that's okay. But Dustin Chandler, Jennifer Page, Kelly Moore, Kimberly Walsh, Phyllis Marshall Rice, any of the names that I've just shared. Again, if you don't feel comfortable raising your hand and sharing verbally what you're grateful for, or who you're grateful for, or what you're most excited about in your life, and you're able, feel free to share in the chat, and I'm more than happy to read anything you share.
Hey, this is Phyllis. I will share. I love listening to everyone share what their grateful for as well. I'm an advocate. My youngest son is 27 and has Down syndrome. I'm very thankful for, oh, a million things. I'm thankful for my family. I'm thankful for my son. I'm thankful that there are different organizations and groups out there to support him. And I just try to be part of this community to support him, but also to support and share what I've learned with other people.
Thank you. Thank you for coming off camera and sharing. It's exciting to have you with us today, Phyllis.
Thanks, Chris.
Of course. I'll share an extra one. I'm trying to keep my mouth shut, but Melissa knows that outside of these engagements, it's really hard for me not to talk too much. I just thought of something. My cousins, who I haven't seen in a really long time, they live on, or my aunts and
Hey,
uncles
Clay,
rather.
comma.
They live on Lake
When are
Norman,
you going?
and we recently, our family recently got an invite to go see them. And I was specifically told that the reason why they want me to come visit is that they think that I'm funny and they need more joy in their lives right now. So, I know I'm kind of patting myself on the back a little bit, but that happened last night, and it was a big deal for me because the cousins that invited us to see them are family members that mean a lot to me, and I haven't seen in a very long time. So I'm excited for that. Yvonne says, thanks, Mohammed.
You're welcome. I just wanted to ask Melissa a question.
Sure.
My question is, does Dawn work for you guys, Melissa?
We don't have anybody on our staff by the name of Dawn, DAWN, or just DON.
Oh, okay.
But thank you for putting your telephone number in the chat and for providing us with your email. We will definitely be contacting you and welcoming you into our community. Now, Chris, we do have one other kind of a big thing to do, and it's our first time doing this. So will you provide the intro, and maybe there'll be some questions about it?
Yeah, that's fine. We can jump there. I apologize if anyone hears any background noise while I share this. My daughter just got home from school. There is, before we actually jump into some suggestions for you all to dive into your own gratitude practices, we want to learn a little bit more about you and what you think of the discussion series. So in a moment, you'll see a list of short questions, a poll. Each is multiple choice, and we ask that you please answer each of these questions because it helps the council make sure that we serve you to the best of our ability. And really, we want to get to know you better. This is really, as always, the Self-Advocate Discussion Series is all about you, and this is just another way that we can have a better understanding of our community. I'll take a moment to read them. They're all multiple choice. So the first question is, I am it's an identify question. So I am a self-advocate, parent or family member, or neither. Question 2 is, I live in either a big city or a small town. Question number 3 is, I think the self-advocate discussion series is good, bad, or I don't know. Number 4, I learn from the self-advocate discussion series always, sometimes, or never. And number 5, I use the Spanish language interpretation feature. Yvonne's already done, and so is Philip.
Me too.
That's
We have 9 of 20 respondents. And so that will exclude some of the staff. But technically, we have about 26 people online with us right now, including all of the staff support. So if you're a parent, a family member, or an individual with a developmental disability, we would love for you to answer these 5 questions.
Okay, for me, this is Mohammed.
Oh, no, we don't want you to answer verbally.
Okay.
We just do, oh, he's on the telephone.
Yes,
I
I
just
already did
remembered.
I already did my questionnaire.
Oh, you did? Okay, now we have 10 answers. That is
brilliant.
wonderful. All right, fantastic. Well, more than 60% of our attendees and respondents today are individuals that identify as a self-advocate. We had many people who identified as neither. It looks like about 60% of the folks live in a big city, which is interesting because it says 5 out of 10 live in a small town. And everybody says, no, I'm sorry. Almost everybody says that they think the self-advocate discussion series is good. Someone who's not really sure yet. So that's fair too. We're going to try to do this after each session going forward, aren't we, Chris?
We are indeed.
Yay.
I also expect that maybe as this grows and expands, that the questions will probably evolve a bit. This is our first time trying to gather information, and hopefully it's been a convenient way to do so for everyone. And I also want to offer a quick shout out to Justin Chandler. He is here. He is our new autism and IDD safety training for first responders contractor. So welcome, Dustin. Philip shared that in the chat.
Thank you, Chris. I was going to jump in, but didn't know when to do so. But I'll go back to the thankful statement that I'm thankful to be here in front of you guys. I'm also thankful to be working alongside the council and Philip to bring some much needed safety training to our to the first responders in North Carolina. So look forward to working with a lot of you guys, and I'm just thankful for the work that you guys, each individual person listening or on this call, has done to advocate to further the betterment of good for all people. So I appreciate that. I'm a parent and also an advocate for a lot of different things in disability. So we will see you guys hopefully a lot in North Carolina in the coming year. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dustin. Thank you for being here, and thank you for coming off camera and sharing. We really appreciate your time today. And Philip says, I think the self-advocate discussion series is splendidly marvelous. Of course, Philip would share that. He is a little biased, and it seems as though he is, I don't know, for some reason that description just makes me think of Wicked, the musical, which has recently become a movie. So I don't know if you're planning on seeing that, Philip, but it just jumps.
I saw the play of it. It was good.
It's one of the best on the planet.
Yeah. I don't get to see a lot of plays, but I thought it was good.
Yvonne is thankful for Philip's UK slang. If anyone is interested in learning more about Dustin's work, Philip has put his email in the chat. Definitely reach out if you're interested.
Chris?
Yeah.
I just want to say your format is different from other formats, because as a self-advocate, you know, I attend Zoom meetings, and different people have different ways to chit chat, and I just want to know if you guys have do you have a WhatsApp group, something like that, or?
That's a very good question. I'm actually not sure. I would have to reach out to our media contractor because I know that she is interested in diving into the WhatsApp space to help create community for us. But I will absolutely ask her. That's a question
She's already responded. She is unable to be on screen right now, but she said we do not have access to WhatsApp. And this is Melissa, and I will say that we have a lot of restrictions because we are a state government entity. And we have a lot of privacy and protection regulations that we have to be responsive to. And Pam Dempsey is a systems change manager here at the Council on Development of Disabilities. She's responsible for our communications and media relations and marketing initiatives. And she did give a formal response that says, we do not have access to WhatsApp. But thank you for asking, Mohammed.
Yes, because I wanted to know if you were on social media. That's the main, you know.
I will say the North Carolina Council on Developmental Disabilities certainly is on social media. And I'd be happy to share some links with you.
Okay.
Well, we're sort of rounding out our time together, and I do want to take a little bit of time to share some gratitude practices with everyone in case it's something you all want to engage in. Personally, if I'm being honest, some of my gratitude practices have fallen away this year, and I'm ashamed to say it because I could probably use them, especially now. I think really we all could. So this is just as much a reminder for me as it is for all of you who are open-minded and willing to hear. So some opportunities to practice gratitude: personal journaling, excuse me, a physical journal or diary where we write down at least 3 things that we are grateful for. Electronic journaling is also an option if it's more convenient, using a computer, using apps like Microsoft Word or Notes, or a journaling app on the phone or computer. An example would be Evernote's 5-minute journal to type your gratitude list. Number 3, affirmations. Share your gratitude out loud with a mirror. Give yourself 5 to 10 minutes, up to 3 times a day, and proclaim your joy. Example, every day in every way, I'm getting better and better. Right? Another example is collaborative journaling. So that's essentially speaking gratitude out loud with a friend. You can share it with your friend goes back to you, and it sort of works out as this like back and forth of energy that gets bigger and bigger and better and helps to sort of fill our hearts with joy and stability as we move about our day. And if you need it, there's some links to the 5-minute journal here that I'm also going to share on the resources page, the Apple version and the Android version. Both of those links are going to be included. And I've just noticed, forgive me for the delay, Johnny, do you have a share that you'd like to share?
I love you. I got a 7-year-old.
I believe this is for Johnny Thomas. Johnny, you had your hand up, I think, a while ago, and we did not call on you when we had the opportunity to call on you to answer the questions.
I don't think that was me, because I put all my information in the chat. This was by accident. Because I wrote in the chat, I feel or rather know that the self-advocate discussion series is a necessary tool for people with various disabilities to have access to information and to be able to connect with other like individuals.
Chris, could you repeat what he said if you heard him?
I heard I heard the last part. I struggled to hear the first part. I
Hey,
apologize.
folks, this is Pam. Johnny, would you like for me to read your chat aloud, or would you like to say it again?
Yes, ma'am, you can read it.
Thanks for sharing that in chat with me and for sharing aloud. I have a big, loud voice, so I'll try again if that's okay. I saw a head nod. Thank you. Johnny Thomas wrote, I feel, or rather know, that the self-advocate discussion series is a necessary tool for people with various disabilities to access information and to be able to connect with other like individuals. Thank you so much for that. We're so thrilled to have you with us today, and any other day you are able to come back to our monthly discussions. Johnny, thanks for letting us share.
Yes, and thank you so much, Johnny. Reiterate a little bit, and thank you, Pam, for uh, sharing that as well on his behalf. We do appreciate you and your time. I want to take a note as we wind down the post regarding effective advocacy. We are advocates. We don't lobby at the North Carolina Council. It's our job to come together and educate the world about the IDD community and how we can expand our voice, our voices, our collective voices, if you will. And we think we've done a pretty good job of doing that, but we're always open to feedback. And I want to also say that we're very grateful for all of you and any self-advocate or advocate that's attended the self-advocate discussion series over the course of the year. This would not be what it is without any of you. The self-advocate discussion series is really near and dear to our hearts, and it is really the definition of nothing about us without us. And so truly, this would not be in existence without you, the self-advocates and the advocates who are willing to jump on and learn and share and grow and collaborate together. So thank you so much for coming today. Thank you to our captioner, our self-advocates, our interpreters, our Spanish interpreters, our ASL interpreters. Thank you to staff. Thank you to all of my colleagues this day and every day over the course of the year and all the years that we've been together so far. See you next month on December 20th. We're going to be talking about how we can give back as self-advocates. So today we talked about gratitude. And on December 20th,
December 18th, December 18th.
December 18th.
Screen, Chris.
December 18th. Sorry, December 18th. Forgive me. December 18th, we're going to focus on different ways that we can contribute to the community as self-advocates. I think some of the suggestions just might surprise you in the best way. We appreciate all of you. Thank you. And we'll see you next month.
Thank you, everyone. Happy Thanksgiving. Enjoy your holidays, whatever you celebrate.